Disclaimer, this video is not about every single Spider-Man fan, but the collective community. If it doesn't sound like I'm describing you, then hey, this probably isn't directed at you. Either way, the sort of Spider-Man fans I'm talking about have already left their dislike in 7-paragraph essay. Enjoy the video.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Spider-Man Far From Home is the latest installment in the MCU and has caused massive riots in the streets and countless casualties across the world after being out in theaters only a few days. I mean, you'd probably think it's the literal Antichrist if you spent any time on Twitter at all. It appears Tom Holland is literally walking into each theater and beating the shit out of anyone who happens to watch the movie at this point. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with disliking the MCU Spider-Man because I have problems with them, but it seems like massive amounts of people want to hate this movie before even giving it a chance. I'm all for tearing down companies for releasing sequels and reboots because that's my favorite pastime, but I at least make an effort to go in with an open mind. I recently saw MIB International with an open mind, and you know what? It was fucking awful. I try and review it right now, but I don't even remember most of the movie. That same day I also saw the Child's Play remake, and you know what? It wasn't half bad. If you watch movies with an open mind, you'll find yourself actually enjoying the movie sometimes. I know, crazy, shocker, who would have guessed? People have these clearly defined ideas of what Spider-Man and Spider-Man movies should be and shouldn't be, and if they aren't exactly like that, then they'll give it a negative review and bitch about it for several months on end. This sort of mindset kills creativity and leads to people not even wanting to get involved with the toxicity of comic book fandoms. You make one small change and fans will claim you've tied up Peter Parker and spit in his mouth until he drowns. There is nothing wrong with critiques. Fuck, you're listening to a bucket of popcorn that hates every single movie, but when you treat small things like massive flaws, not only are you nitpicking, but your brain is also fucked.
Critic, are you saying opinions can be wrong? That's not how an opinion works. Please like and subscribe to my Spider-Man channel where I scream slurs at a picture of John Watts for 2 hours.
There is a difference between having legitimate criticisms with the pacing or theming and literally writing toxic tweets about one shot from a trailer having some rubbery CGI, which of course Spider-Man fans proceeded to do. It's this sort of CinemaSins mindset which has started to bleed into these mainstream fandoms, and it's a bit disgusting. All I ask is that you judge the current Spider-Man movie without any preconceptions of what it means to be Spider-Man, because that's what you should do with any Spider-Man movie. Characters are allowed to change and be vastly different from their original comic book iterations. If we want to get into the comic accuracy argument, the Guardians of the Galaxy are so far off from the comics it's not even funny, yet those movies are great and you don't see comic fans screaming while pissing their pants at the cinema.
But critic, if it's not accurate to the comics, that automatically means it's not good.
Jessica, didn't we have the Exterminator come through here last week?
And you may be saying to me, Mick Bizzle of YouTube, subscribe to me, I'm making more content in the future, go watch my newest video. Don't you also dislike MCU Spider-Man because you feel that it doesn't personally fit your criteria of the character? While also acknowledging the fact that they're completely different mediums and you can separate both interpretations and look at them as their own thing? Liking each for what they are, not depending on the source material to criticize a new form of media? Because that's a really fucking stupid thing to do, and anyone that does it is a brainlet? Why, yes. But as I said before, if it's not comic accurate, it's automatically not good. They changed something that I liked in order to fit their narrative for an entirely different adaptation. I can't have a personal opinion on it while also separating them as different art forms and looking at the overall quality of the product instead of letting the original source material represent it. They have to be the same. They changed the ballerina man who wears red and blue spandex, and that isn't okay. They should be boycotted.
If you're gonna take away one thing from this video, it's this. Watch movies with an open mind. Don't blindly hate things. Don't blindly love things. Focus on the bigger movie as a whole and not on which color of eyes Peter Parker has in the 20th Spider-Man movie.
I love you, critic. Why don't you fuck my wife?
I plan on doing an actual review of Far From Home, but after seeing the backlash on Twitter from Spider-Man fans, I wanted to talk about this annoying shit because it's fucking annoying. One last message to Spider-Man stans, please just be better, please and thanks. Subscribe, hit the bell, and farewell.